Hi, welcome. Just coming into this moment exactly as you find yourself, relaxing into this present moment, feeling the body, feeling gravity. The sounds are happening. If you have your eyes open, there is this vista. And just gently defocus the eyes. This allows the mind to be slightly uplifted, but it's allowing the objects to not be so in focus. So we're stepping back gently from engaging and jumping from one object to another, one moment to another, following the thoughts in the story. We're just gently becoming aware of this passivity that is available. It's an aspect of ourselves, of our reality, that we can develop the ability to tune into. And we can rely on it as a peaceful space, a ground. And allow it to reveal more and more of itself. This beautiful presence. This eternal moment has an aspect of always moving, because that is how we see story, that is how time happens. All appearances happen in dualism. This is impermanence. This is subtle impermanence when you realize that nothing ever would happen if there wasn't this movement. That is one of the qualities of things happening. And when this is seen, you can see that any happiness that arises in this moving territory, in this story of happening, by its nature has to fluctuate. There is no lasting happiness in the story of movement. But movement's partner is this still arena, if you like. It is an absolute paradox. But at the start, you can see that movement happens in this aware presence that is always still. It is edgeless and vast. It is beyond vast. It has no shape. It is free of all qualities, because all qualities are in the movement, are in the story. So the partner of peace, of stillness, of silence is always present. It has an aspect of clarity, this knowing. Anything that is known is just known. It is just clear. Perfect clarity, awakeness. This is our birthright, this moving peace. And the paradox is that they are not separate, that they are partners. It is a dance. There may be times when you experience a cessation, where all movement seems to stop. Or something so vast and long that there is the appearance of time without ending. And that too is a moving appearance. And there's a coming to peace with this realization of the nature of reality. And there's a reknowing of ourselves as not being fixed ever, of free like the wind. And the emotional body can register peace. Perhaps moments of ecstatic joy, bliss. Focusing on the interconnectedness of all things, we can feel great love. Or there can be a cooling. But in this arena, in the advanced stages, we need to become aware of the emotional realm. With precision, we need to see with clarity, with joy, with kindness and patience. We need to see the aspects of the separate self that still arise here. This stepping back method, this disassociation, is a cooling. It is a peaceful method. At times it feels very callous almost and clear with its clarity, its ability to cut off. It can feel like a great lover of merging with everything, of becoming so vast and so vibrating. There can be great joy and bliss, but there also can be sorrow, and we can see that these are just layers that are stored, that are a part of the clothing of the separate self. Not all aspects of this journey are going to be blissful or incredibly clear. Sometimes there is a flatness and a dullness, or even anger or sadness and grief. And with kindness and patience, we need to move in these areas gently. Allow time. You are never, ever not doing the right thing. This is my firm belief. You are always guided. Everything that's happening on your journey, it's never wrong. There's always a revelation happening. When does the revelation start? Can you point to the moment? This whole journey is the revelation. Every moment of years of stagnation or breakthroughs. All of it is happening exactly as it should. The impatience that happens, that moves you forward. The longing and the seeking that arises, that makes you inquire with such intensity and fire. The dullness and the stillness, the inertia that makes you think nothing is ever going to change, and is this enough? There can be a great sense of lack there. These are the layers of the separate self. I believe that our journey is to love and wisdom. Not a love that fluctuates, but a love of self-realization. That is what enlightenment is to me. That is what full awakening is. And I do believe that is our true nature. So if there is not this incredible love and peace, know that there is nothing wrong happening. There's a slight veiling from the separate self that feels dissatisfied. Like when we switch a fan off, it will continue moving for a while. So the separate self is used to running on a hamster wheel. It is used to projects and doing and accomplishing. It's used to evaluating with blame and shame. So the path of stepping back and disassociation reveals the impatience and the restlessness of this separate self. It is the winding down of the fan. The movement continues. The searching for purpose or validation or feeling enough. And all these things, who's to say whether they're not perfectly arising in this moment, and they will lead you to your next door. So just assume that everything that is arising is perfect. If your path, if your practice is this stepping back and disassociation, include the flavor of the moment, the emotional theme, the emotional layers that you are now moving in. They are subtle. Don't be afraid to throw in some activities like thinking of the interconnectedness of all things. Using your voice to share in devotional singing. Become aware of the body and its subtle energies. If there is pain in the heart, it can be from too much efforting. We need to be very gentle in these areas. I would suggest working on the feeling of being safe and enough to relax that efforting pain. It has brought you to where you are now. It has done a wonderful thing. Efforting does great things, but sometimes we need to relax, especially in these subtler areas of the separate self. And we need to move with kindness and gentleness. The efforting is often a voice that is saying we should. And it has a plan, and it has a timeline. Step back from that and see that that too is okay. That too is doing what it's supposed to be doing. See the mechanisms that make up this being that we supposedly are, this separate self in the story. Allow revelation to happen. With gentleness, we can come to the heart with a feeling of coming inside the body. Inside, where there is a safety, an acceptance. There can be a small glow of light in the heart, a small glow of peace. Allow that ember to be what it is. Rejoice in its beauty. Love is in your heart. It is in the moment of acceptance. So there is this great play of stepping back and cooling, and then looking at the qualities of this divine self that is already. So rejoicing. And then there is this play of looking and enquiring into what makes up this divine play of I and other. Allowing it all. Thank you.